They're in the community where we lived for a while when I was a kid. My brother Jim lived there most of the rest of his life. But there was a barber there in that town, and he was very negative. Whatever you said, he knew better negatively. It won't work. That's the foolishest thing I've ever heard of, or whatever. But he always had something negative to say about everything. Chuck comes in one day needing a haircut. Old Mr. Owens, he says, "What are you up to, Chuck?" Chuck said, "Well, I'm trying to get my hair cut and kind of spruced up a little bit. I'm going to go down to Birmingham and catch a TWA flight from there to Rome, Italy." "Where are you going to Rome for?" He said, "I want to go see the Pope." Well, first of all, you don't want to go TWA. They'll lose your luggage, and they'll never get anywhere on time. That's the sorriest airline there is. He said, "You don't want to go to Rome this time of year. It stinks over there. It stinks. You don't want to be over there. And you won't ever get to see the Pope. There's millions of people standing there just hoping he'll come out on that little balcony porch thing up there. They get to see him that way, and that's probably the closest you'll get. Well, you're kind of short anyhow, and these big tall guys will be standing in front of you, and you won't even see that. Best thing you can do is just stay home." Well, Chuck goes on his trip, comes back in, goes in the barber shop there to get her trim, and Mr. Owens says, "Well, Chuck, I guess that was a miserable trip, wasn't it?" He said, "No, actually, you was wrong about that." He said, "TWA didn't lose my luggage, and they were on time. Rome didn't stink at all. Very pleasant place to be. And by the way, I did get to see the Pope, too." "Up on that little porch thing?" He said, "No. Actually, I shook his hand and talked to him personally." "Why, how'd you do that?" He said, "Well, I was down there in the crowd, and the Pope came out on that little balcony thing, and I noticed he looked right at me. In just a few minutes, here was a man kind of pushing his way through the crowd and told me," he said, "Sir, you need to come with me." So I didn't question him. I followed him. We went inside of a door there, and he said, "The Pope wants to talk to you." And I said, "Well, I feel very honored that he'd take time to talk to me. Oh, he needs to talk to you. Just come with me." And said, we got on the elevator, and he said, "I don't know if we went up one floor or 15. I don't know. But when I got off, the Pope was standing there in his nice robe and everything, and he reached out and took my hand, and he put his other hand on my head, and he said a prayer right there. And I said, "Sir, I can't believe that I even got to shake your hand and that you prayed over me, and I really appreciate this." And he said, "Well, my friend, I want to tell you something. I saw you in the crowd, and I felt like you were a man that was in need of something. And honestly, you've got the worst looking haircut I've ever seen."